The 2010s decade in pop music started off completely different than it ended. The world had traded in larger-than-life pop for more moody and depressing pop, and hip-hop was embraced more than it has ever been embraced before. Now there are some definitive pop queens of the 2010s decade, such as Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Beyoncé, Kesha, and Taylor Swift. In particular, I would love to use Katy Perry and Lady Gaga as an example. Lady Gaga and Katy Perry have similar career paths. They broke out with smash hits and crazy costumes, from the iconic meat dress to the sparks flying out of Katy Perry's chest. There was always some form of showmanship and wild costumes. Their music matched up to their aesthetic quite well. Although I will say Gaga's music isn't as nearly provocative as her fashion, but nonetheless, their fashion helped paint a picture of larger-than-life figures, trailing behind these countless bombastic and anthemic pop songs. Naturally, as their career progressed, especially Lady Gaga began to let go of the costume gimmicks and opting for more classic Hollywood glamour, going from jazz to country to a certified movie star with A Star Is Born. Gaga returned to her dance pop roots with Chromatica, but she did so in a way that is mature and with a sound that's not very reminiscent of her past dance pop glory. Katy Perry, on the other hand, just full-on tried to recreate her past glory, which resulted in an album with her most forgettable material to date on Smile. Witness was a bold attempt at rebranding, but was not very well executed or delivered. Lady Gaga and Katy Perry have influenced a lot of people, I'm sure, but it is not more apparent in any other mainstream pop star today than Ava Max. She is the hybrid of a past and present day Katy Perry who has struggled to evolve in a milder version of Gaga from the Fame era. When Ava Max first broke out, people were instantly proclaiming that she is the next Lady Gaga. With her stuttering pop choruses and blonde hair, she set out to make a bid for the pop crown, in her own words, bring pop back.
Are you just completely sick of these Gaga comments? Because I would be if I were you. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I would have done as well.
I've never done that before. That was pretty fun. No, but it felt like the right moment.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
But literally, I love her. I love her. It's just funny how people are like, you must have sang her growing up a lot. And I listened to her and I loved her, of course, because she's a legend. But I really it was funny in competitions, I would sing like Mariah, Celine, Whitney. But it's funny how your career could take a different path. So I chose a more theatrical, route and a more theatrical way of singing because that's just natural to me. And so it is flattering. I mean, she's incredible. She's a genius. I love her.
Oh, she's fantastic, but it just must be frustrating that every time you put something out or do an interview, everybody's like, Gaga, Gaga, Gaga. You're like, yeah, but I'm Ava.
Look, I'm 5'2", blonde hair. I get it. But my name is Ava.
There's more to you that is so, but it is a compliment because she is an icon and she's incredible and she helped pave the way. She's
exactly. And I remember when she got compared to Madonna and I remember how frustrating that was for her. But she admired her and still does. And I admire Madonna too. So I feel like everyone gets compared to people. So I have to remember that.
She simultaneously embodies the pounding self-empowerment anthems that Katy Perry has made, which leaves her in this place of being a brainchild of the two artists. In an era of Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, and Dua Lipa, people embrace pop stars as being more authentic and not so cheesy, so to speak. Even if you are larger than life, personality is expected, and that's why Ava Max as an artist is just so hard to buy. Of course, she has general catchy pop songs that I enjoy, but as an artist, she is so hard to indulge in. Her branding, the self-empowerment anthems, and the youth appeal of her music just seems so gimmicky. No matter how good Ava Max sounds on a track, no matter how emotive she sounds, I can never believe the words she's singing. I suppose that's because the Ava Max character she's attempting to build is just so out of touch with what is current. Ava Max would make so much sense in 2012. She makes absolutely no sense in 2021. Her stylistic choices with her music aren't up to date either. It's quite literally just 2010s pop music copy and pasted. Sure, some of her hits, specifically Sweet But Psycho, are able to keep a balance of 2010s pop music and modern pop music, while a lot of her music is just music we've heard a million times with no personalized approach, general production, and even more cliche writing. I think Ava Max's biggest issue is she hasn't necessarily updated her influences, she just wears them. And the thing about her influences are, they aren't exactly far removed. Katy Perry and Gaga are still doing it, and Gaga has managed to update it in a personalized manner. Ava Max is also quoted saying, "Drinking and partying never appealed to me in lyrics. They don't have a lot of meaning behind them." Yeah, she's that girl. Obviously her writing style is her prerogative, but this statement is just extremely pretentious. And I struggle to see why any artist, especially younger acts, would have this mindset. It also doesn't really make any sense considering her idols who have notorious fun dance pop songs about partying, drinking, and having a good time, with the inclusion of having anthemic, personal, and uplifting songs as well. Also, who's to say that partying and drinking songs don't have much meaning? Sure, there are a lot of party songs that are frothy and light in message, but there are a fair amount that use partying or drinking as an escapist subject, or a clutch for poor mental health. Her stance also doesn't really make sense because she is taking on dance pop, a genre that is celebratory of partying, drinking, and having a good time. Not that there's necessarily one set way to do dance pop, but the encouragement of fun, feel-good party songs are deeply ingrained into dance culture. Imagine partaking in dance pop and being too snobbish for partying. The 2010s were just yesterday. The world has moved away from that sound, and although it is an iconic music style, it hasn't even had time to age. The sounds that are currently popular in pop music have, such as 80s pop and disco, have matured and become a classic sound that people love to revisit. I did think her album was a step in the right direction for her because she finally has a body of work out after releasing so many miscellaneous singles. However, it doesn't really offer anything at all. It's so nondescript. I know debut albums aren't generally the most well put together albums because singers are still finding themselves during that time and they're trying to establish themselves as an artist in their own right, but her album does rely on cliches a little too much. Or a lot actually, because it doesn't really offer insight on who Ava Max is as an artist or really even a person, because it relies on cliches heavily, especially with the writing. I also understand people like to chase trends and get their name out there, but you can do so in a way that's not outdated. The only distinct thing about her as an artist is her haircut, truly. 2010's pop music was a golden age and introduced us to a lot of our pop icons of present day. But it wasn't that long ago, and she's trying to recreate an era that hasn't had time to be missed yet. Ava Max made a statement that she wanted to bring pop back, even though it's never left. However, the pop sound she's chasing has, and it's way too soon to try to bring it back.